Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading that is a love reading. We're going to be finding out what your person's true intentions are towards you. There will also be an extended version of this reading available on my Patreon. So in the extended, we will be looking into the future of the connection as the energy stands today. So again, here on the main channel, we're looking into their intentions. If that part of the reading resonates with you and you want to see where things are headed in the future with this connection, you can head over to my Patreon using the link in the description box down below to view the extended version of your reading. Getting into a couple of disclaimers, remember that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so the messages will vary and how specifically they're going to resonate with each individual viewer out there. As a best practice, if anything that I'm saying in your chosen reading feels confusing or doesn't feel like it really fits what you know your situation to be, those are clues and indications that those are just not your messages today. So just release them, let them go, and accept that that message is for somebody else out there in the collective. Okay. If you guys are looking for more personalized guidance and you might want to do a personal reading, the link to my website is in the description box down below. Personal readings are a great way to get a more specific read on your own personal energy if you're ever feeling like the general readings on YouTube just aren't hitting it for you. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and select your reading. We have a choice between 3 groups for today. If you're drawn to group 1, we will be working with the Artist's Inner Vision Tarot and this Scolecite crystal. If you're drawn to reading number 2, we'll be working with the Witchcraft and Wizardry Tarot and this black tourmaline. And if you're drawn to reading 3, we will be working with this Sardonyx and the Wisdom of Pooh tarot deck. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about your person. What are their true intentions toward you at this time, and what do you need to know? Go ahead and select the deck or crystal that you feel the most intuitively connected to. Once you've chosen, scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hello, Group 1. If you guys were drawn to the Artist's Inner Vision Tarot and the Scolecite crystal, this will be your reading. So here on the main channel, we're going to be looking into your person's true intentions toward you. If you find that this reading resonates and you're looking for deeper insight, you can head over to my Patreon. The link will be in the description box down below, and there will be an extended of your reading where we're going to take a look into where the connection is going next, what's the future of the connection as the energy stands today. Okay. So I want to start off with some of our pre-shuffled oracle cards here, just to kind of see what your person's current energy and state of mind is with regard to this connection. So we start off with the archetype of Mobius. We also have Deception. And then we have fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So I already feel like this person is probably not being the most communicative and forthcoming, which makes sense. It's probably part of why you guys are at this reading. I definitely feel like they send a lot of mixed signals. And the reason that I'm feeling this is because this person does have a high level of attraction and passion for you. They definitely feel very drawn to your warmth. And I think there is a lot of chemistry beneath the surface and, again, passion that they hold for you. But I feel like your person is not trying to show that to you. They're kind of wearing a mask, or they're trying to cover up how they really feel, or suppress or push down how they feel. And a part of this, you guys, with this Mobius archetype that's here, I feel like something that's going on with your person has to do with really deep transformative changes that they're moving through. This could be a change or a shift in this connection. This could be some sort of change or shift in their personal circumstances, their outer circumstances, their job, their family, themselves. I feel it's more personal for a lot of you guys. Like they're going through some sort of a personal transformation where I think that this person is really having to work through how to let go of the past, maybe how to let go of an old identity that they used to hold. And I feel like this is impacting the way that they're showing up with you. Like, I feel like they're wearing a mask because they don't really know who they are or how they want to be when it comes to you yet. All they know is that they're attracted to you or you inspire them with this fire sign energy. So let's see. Jumping into the tarot. What else can you tell us, please, Spirit, about Group 1's person's true intentions toward them? What are their true intentions toward Group 1? We have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, they're like paralyzed. Mentally paralyzed. Lots of fear. Self-limiting beliefs. We've got the Emperor coming through. Yeah, that makes so much sense with suppressing. Let's see. We also have the Eight of Wands coming up as well. And then we have the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So kind of confirmation of what I said. This person's very attracted to you. I think they are very inspired by you. There's something about your energy that really lights them up and stirs them. Like they're very attracted. Okay. But I feel, you guys, like this person with this Eight of Swords and this Emperor, they're kind of like paralyzed right now as it pertains to how they want to act or what they want to do. This person, I think, is really struggling with some sort of awkwardness with regard to you or some self-limiting beliefs or mental restrictions at this time. And I think, again, it has to do with changes they're going through, their identity, something that they're not being fully honest with themselves about. And with this Emperor being here, again, I feel like they're trying to kind of push down their emotions, their feelings. They're kind of pushing down this excitement that they feel for you, this passion that they feel for you. They may kind of present themselves a little bit stoic here when it comes to their intentions. Like, this is what they want, this Emperor, right? Their intention is to show you this Emperor, somebody who's controlled, somebody who's boundaried, somebody who's masculine, and somebody who's a leader. But it's kind of surrounded by these eights, this Eight of Swords, this mental conflict that they're experiencing around their passion and their kind of like feelings toward you, right? Like they want to move forward. They want to rush in with this Eight of Wands. They want to communicate with you more. But it's like they feel they need to present this very controlled, stoic, polished vibe for some reason. So let's continue. What are their intentions, Spirit? I'm going to be working with one of my decks. This is not the final version. The final version will be launching soon. I'm changing the name of it. More to come. Using Mercury retrograde to make some revisions here. Okay. So what are their intentions, Spirit, toward Group 1? What are their intentions, please? We have submissive looking to you. That's kind of interesting with the Eight of Swords. We have giving a gift. And deep conversation with lending support. It's like this person really intends and wants you to see them as supportive, as helpful, as leadership oriented. And maybe this person wants to gift you something. It's clarified here by this Emperor. So I don't know if this gift is like very boundaried or Like, I feel like there's something about maintaining boundaries with whatever the gift is. And it may not be a literal physical gift that they're intending to give you. It could be the gift of structure, of support, of leadership with this Emperor energy. They're wanting you guys with this Eight of Wands to talk to you more. They want to have like a deep conversation with you. But it's interesting because the Eight of Wands is more of like that passionate energy of like impulsively rushing toward someone. And I almost feel like with this Eight of Wands, like this is how they view your energy. Like you're very fast paced. And I'm noticing here how this feminine is like kind of pulling, well, she's actually painting the masculine, but it almost looks like he's reaching toward her hand. Like you're pulling, it's like I'm getting this image of you pulling this person in with your passions. Like you just naturally kind of whip them into your field, into your energy. The way you communicate, the way you move, they're very stirred by you. But they really want you to see them as more like stoic and controlled and leadership oriented. And they don't want you to know how passionately they actually feel and how attracted they actually feel toward you. This person, I think, is also in their intentions. They're deeply insecure in a sense because like the Eight of Swords tells me with this submissive energy that like there's doubt in their mind that you're receptive to them. There's doubt in their mind that they can measure up to you. I don't necessarily think, because like they're very masculine with this Emperor. Like I don't think that they feel submissive to you necessarily, but I think that they view you as someone inspirational. And I feel like there's just this vibe that you guys really keep them on their toes. Like they're walking a tightrope or they're very like stirred by your energy. And so maybe they look to you, look to signals from you, or kind of look to you as a leader in some capacity here. Let's continue. But it definitely feels like their intentions, I know I'm reading a lot into the energy here, but like their intention is this Emperor. I do think that they want structure and stability within this connection. I think they want to give you something tangible, something supportive here. I think that they intend for you to see them as controlled and together. They also intend, with this Ace of Wands and this Eight of Wands, to talk with you with deep conversation. This person wants a conversation with you. We're not looking at actions here, but sometimes the Ace of Wands can talk about like a quick message out of the blue, right? So maybe there's something about communication, like they'll impulsively have this desire to communicate with you, but it feels like they're really trying to suppress impulsivity with that Emperor. They don't want you to know how down bad they actually are. Group 1. So let's see. Their intention, Spirit. What else can you tell us about this person's intentions toward Group 1? Romance. Your emotional needs will be met with this connection. Yeah, and I think part of this Eight of Swords and this submissive energy is that like I don't think they know if you're fully receptive to that with them. You know what I mean? Part of them may also feel a little uncomfortable with romantic feelings toward you for some reason. You know, the Emperor is like an authority figure in the tarot. So for some of you, it could be that this person is an authority figure in your life in some capacity, whether it's like through work or like spiritual stuff or anything, you know. So like I think there could be something about the dynamics here that make them feel a little awkward about like making a move. What are their intentions, Spirit, with Group 1? Taken, wanting to make things official. Interesting. We also have let's try this. Okay, we do have this here though. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. With all these wands, this fire energy, this person is very sexually charged. We have Aries energy coming through as well with the Emperor. So just be mindful. Like, I do see a lot in this person's intentions of like wanting to be stable for you, wanting communication with you, wanting to get to know you better, conversations. But there's so many wands, like they're very sexually charged. And so there is kind of that undertone driving it. We also have scared. See, like they're scared to open up. They really want you to see them as this emperor, like this masculine, stable energy that has their ish together. I just don't think they're really that on the inside, because I think they're moving through a big change in their life. And rather than like being open and vulnerable about whatever challenges they're facing, they want you to see them as what they perceive to be their best self, which is this emperor. Okay. So what are their intentions, group one? They're really in their head. I think they're not sure how you feel about them or if you're receptive to them. But I see somebody here who is intending to put on like a strong, controlled energy. They may want to support you more stably, and they want communication with you. They want to talk to you. I think there is something here brewing with them wanting to pursue commitment or wanting to try to put in more effort to keep up with you. So yeah, this is super interesting. I'm very curious to get into your extended group one. If you're ending the reading here, that's totally cool. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about your person and what's been going on. If you're joining me for the extended over on Patreon, we'll be looking into the future of the connection. So as the energy stands today, what's going to pan out here? The link to that reading will be in the description box down below, and you don't have to be a member to access that video. You can just purchase it as a standalone if that's better for you. All right. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hello, group two, and welcome to your reading. If you guys selected the Witchcraft and Wizardry Tarot and this black tourmaline crystal, this will be your reading. We're going to be looking into your person's intentions toward you. And if you guys find this reading to resonate, there will be an extended on my Patreon where we're going to take a look at what the future of the connection looks like based on the current energy. So the link to that will be in the description box down below if you want to join me over there for an extended. But let's go ahead and jump in. I want to first take a look at your person's energy and where they currently stand with regard to this connection and their intentions. So we've got the archetype of Shadow Diver coming through. Let go of control issues. Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, guys. So I kind of feel like your person is a bit fearful at this time. I think that they could be somebody who's really afraid of intimacy or being hurt. We're going to see kind of how the tarot describes them here in a moment and their intentions, but there's something about this connection that I feel like your person has a grip over, whether they have a grip over their heart and they're keeping you at arm's length, or they're kind of jealous or possessive over you and anxious about the connection. There is something that this person is needing to learn at this time around just like going with the flow and releasing the need to control everything. And even as I'm tapping into their energy, my heart space feels very blocked. It just feels very shut off, like don't get too close, you know? And with the Shadow Diver here, I don't know if this person fully understands like why they are the way that they are, because this card really talks about like those deep subconscious fears or patterns that we learn from childhood. The Shadow Diver is the archetype of digging deep and bringing those things up to the surface, so that we can acknowledge them and move forward in a positive direction of healing. So everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different. I don't know yet. We'll see as we get into the cards, but something is telling me that maybe this person isn't fully aware yet of their subconscious patterns that are impacting the way they show up with you. And maybe a part of this connection with you is something that is meant to help awaken them to those issues that they need to address. This person with earth energy, I think, could also be the type of person that's more like focused on, you know, instead of focusing on emotions, like we focus on work, we focus on the material, we focus on our money, practical matters, you know what I mean? But they also, you know, earth energy also shows stability right? So I feel like this person might want stability or intend for stability as it pertains to this connection, whether it's like a protective energy of protecting their heart or, you know, a protective energy over you. So let's see. What are their true intentions, Spirit, toward my group 2 viewers? What are this person's true intentions, please, toward my group 2 viewers? Two of Cups in reverse. High Priestess. Okay. Oops, let's just get one, please, Spirit. Three of Wands in reverse. Three of Swords. Yeah, they're hurting, you guys. They're dealing with some pain here. And I continue to feel like they're very closed off in their energy. What are their intentions, Spirit? We're working with one of my decks. This is not the final draft. Changing the name of it, so more to come soon, later this month. Let's see, group 2. What are their true intentions, please, Spirit, with my group 2 viewers? Withholding, yeah. This confirms everything. Okay. All right, my friends. So I think that right now this person's intentions are to be silent. I'm drawn to the High Priestess here, the central energy. She's got her arms crossed. She's buttoned up, right? Her heart is protected. This person is feeling like very protective over themselves right now because they're hurting with this 3 of Swords. There's heartbreak energy here. Okay, so they could be someone that's like right now kind of diving into work or something like that or practical matters rather than kind of sitting with that pain that they're experiencing. Yeah, look at this, you guys. They feel a really strong connection to you with the Lovers. Soul recognition for sure. Maybe a decision was recently made about this connection that was hurtful for them, difficult for them. But with the 2 of Cups reverse, High Priestess, and the 3 of Wands in reverse, their intentions right now are to be silent and observe. They definitely feel that you guys are not connected, like you're not on the same page. There's a disconnect here between you both emotionally. This person with withholding communication is kind of intending to stay silent. They're intending to stay quiet. They don't really want to talk. They may desire like progress or movement deep down beneath the surface because I do think, again, they feel very deeply connected and drawn to you. But they are in observation mode right now. They are leaning back. They're not saying anything. And with the 3 of Wands in reverse, they're focusing more on short-term movement versus long-term expansion. You know, it almost just gives me this energy of somebody who doesn't even know how to expand or express themselves, even though there is this like undertone of desire for movement, for progress. Maybe for some of you guys, this is a long-distance connection with the 3 of Wands, and there's maybe this like desire to travel or move closer to you or move toward you in some way. But with the 3 of Wands in reverse, it's like, no, we're not planning that right now, or they're not planning that right now. So let's see. Let's take a look at the status deck. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about this person's intentions toward group 2 at this time? And I actually don't think that they're aware of their issues. Let's see. We have authentic, feels like home. What are their intentions, Spirit, toward group 2? Judgmental. And not investing. Yep, that makes sense. But look at this. They're still like keeping their eye on you. They're still obsessing. They're still watching. So even though they're intending to not do anything right now, group 2, they are, I think, kind of down bad with that 3 of Swords over you. There's something about your energy that feels very safe and comfortable to them. But I think even though it feels authentic, like they can be themselves with you, there once was this perception from them that like you guys were emotionally compatible on the same wavelength. But I think that this person gets scared when someone gets too close or they feel those feelings. It's just giving like avoidant, I can't diagnose anyone, but it's giving like avoidant attachment a little bit, or just like they push you away, or in order to maintain control over the things they're feeling, they need to distance themselves, right? They're withholding communication in their intentions, even though there is something about this connection that feels like home, right? But maybe for some of you guys, I'm just getting another message here. We were talking about how the shadow diver is sometimes bringing up patterns from our early childhood. So it's possible too that something about this connection is bringing up stuff they learned at home, literally from when they were a kid. You know what I mean? So maybe that's part of what's triggering them right now, is something about the dynamics are similar. It doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It just means that they're triggered right now and they don't really understand why, because they are not doing the inner work. So it's like, instead of them being curious, I see them like leaning back. They're making a judgment call about the situation while still obsessing over you and watching and gathering information through observation, but not investing, right? Just keeping things very like short term versus looking into the long term potential of the connection. So what are their intentions, group 2? Overwhelmingly, this looks like somebody who's just going to be pulling back their energy, observing, obsessing. They are operating from a place of not understanding their own fears of intimacy and having some fear and control issues here as it pertains to this connection. So if you are joining me on Patreon, group 2, we're going to take a look at the future of the connection just to kind of see where things are headed. Definitely curious to see how this situation might evolve. If you're ending the reading here, though, please comment below. Let me know a little bit about your person and what's been happening with them. And I'll see you guys in the next reading soon. Bye. Hello, group 3. If you guys were drawn to the Wisdom of Pooh tarot deck and this sardonyx crystal, this is going to be your reading. So here on the main channel, we're going to be looking into your person's intentions toward you. And then over on Patreon, I'll have an extended available where we're going to take a look into where the connection is potentially headed next in the future. So if you guys want to go to that video, it'll be linked in the description box down below. But let's go ahead and get started by looking into your person's intentions and where they stand right now in this connection. Okay, so we have Green Man. You deserve love. You are lovable. Okay. Open up your heart. It will help you attract more love. Cute. Okay, so let's see what's going on. What are their intentions, group 1? Where do they stand? So I definitely feel like this person is desiring to open up a little bit more. Perhaps leading up to this reading, this person has been a little bit closed off. I don't necessarily see them in the energy of being ready to make really grand gestures here, because even when I'm looking at this archetype of the Green Man, you can kind of like, you're seeing that he's there, but he's also kind of hidden. And I feel like that's going to be maybe how this person's energy feels to you with regard to their next intention. Like he's like the Green Man, it talks about like how he's there, he's walking with you, but you really only see him out of your peripheral vision. And he connects to the earth, to nature. Maybe your person likes to be outside in nature. That could be like a core part of their personality for some of you. That could just be confirmation that this is your message if you know that to be the case, that they like to spend a lot of time outside. But the energy of this Green Man is about like kind of being there, being present and feeling the presence, but not always seeing them physically, right? He's in your peripheral vision. So I kind of feel like this person could be lurking a little bit. This person will be around. They're kind of going to be in your energy. And I think that part of what they're struggling with when it comes to opening up to you and revealing more of themselves and being more of like a center stage presence in your life, I think it has to do with their own worthiness. Because this card talks about understanding that you deserve love, right? And so I think this person may be dealing with some self-worth issues as it pertains to you in this connection. Maybe they're in this place of like orbiting because they're not sure if they're confident enough or that they're deserving enough to be with you. Okay. So let's see, group 3. Let's get into this energy. So what are their intentions, Spirit? What are this person's true intentions for group 3? What are their true intentions toward my group 3 viewers? We have the Magician. Interesting. The King of Swords in reverse. And we have the Emperor with the 7 of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Maybe for some of you guys, leading up to this point, this person's energy's been a little distracted, a little scattered, a little head in the clouds. This could also be somebody who has been orbiting you and also exploring other options in dating. Sometimes that 7 of Cups can talk through that, but it's in reverse. So it feels like they're kind of crashing down from some sort of illusion as it pertains to this connection, or illusion of different choices and decisions or priorities that they have in their life. This does feel like they're intending to kind of ground something here, especially with that Emperor card coming through. Something that's really interesting that I'm noticing here, we're talking about orbiting. Do you guys notice in both of these cards who's kind of lurking in the shadows here? In both? Kind of peeking and watching, which is very interesting. I think that for a lot of you guys, this person maybe lacks confidence in their ability to kind of lead, or their like mindset or their strategic mindset around this connection. And I think that they're going to be watching and observing the way that you do that to learn from you. Let me pull some clarifiers, then we'll kind of get into this a little bit more. Seems like they're wanting your attention, group 3. What are their intentions, Spirit, toward my group 3 viewers? Okay, so we have text message. Okay. We have ghost. That makes so much sense. Okay. And then we have expression of love and care with minimal. Exactly. This makes so much sense with the green man. I think you guys are going to continue to feel this person orbiting you. And I think they're going to be putting in just enough to kind of stay in your orbit, but not a lot. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. This person wants your attention with the Magician. They're thinking of a way that they can like conjure up your energy. Whether this is through them performing or acting a certain way. But I actually feel like there's an intention here to start things off, to manifest you back into their life through a text message. But the thing about it is like with the King of Swords in reverse and the ghost, I just feel like this person kind of lacks follow through and they lack accountability, and they don't really have a like a strategy or anything like substantive that they want to talk to you about. Because a King of Swords is going to be someone who's very logical. They're very reasonable, fair, balanced, like, you know, they're a good communicator. And this is in the reverse with Ghost. So it's like they want to conjure up your energy. They're intending to text you to kind of stay in your orbit. It's almost like they're watching you, but I also feel like this Winnie the Pooh could be your energy, where it's like, let me perform, let me send this message, and then boop, here comes group 3 to see me, to stare at me, to give me attention. You know what I mean? Which is really interesting. This person wants you, I feel like, to see them as this like really confident, like strong emperor. You know, this is going to be somebody who's disciplined, who has good boundaries, someone that's a leader. But I'm kind of noticing that our emperor in this card is Christopher Robin, a little boy. Okay. I just think that this person is not super evolved. I think they're a little bit immature in what their idea of like leading or masculinity looks like or boundaries looks like. And I also feel for a lot of you guys that part of this person's self-worth issues as it pertains to the way they're showing up with you have to do with their childhood, inner child wounds that need healing. We have this expression of love and care here, and I'm almost wondering for some of you guys if like something about them getting your attention again or initiating communication again is to get this type of energy from you. Because I definitely feel like this person, it's like they want to be around your energy. They admire you, they watch you, they're in your orbit. Right? And so if this person does kind of have some subconscious like childhood issues that they're kind of suppressing or not like fully aware of, I think, yeah, because it's like they're fishing. Look at this. That's exactly what they're going to do. Fishing for this. Fishing for validation. Fishing for you to soothe their little inner child. Okay. Which is really interesting. So let's take a look at a couple more cards, and then I'm really very interested to get into the extended group 3. It looks like their intentions are just to kind of orbit you and to conjure up your attention via text because you make them feel good. And I don't think that this person is necessarily going to be consistent. Like they're going to be in and out. They're in your peripheral vision metaphorically, but not necessarily a stable presence or fixture here. Okay. So what are their intentions, Spirit, for my group 3 viewers? Divine timing. Now is not a favorable time. There are things impacting this connection. Okay. What are their intentions? There are no words that can explain how you will feel. Enjoy this feeling. Yeah, they want to feel good, and you all make them feel good. We also have let me love you. I don't know what you're used to. Let me in. I'll show you something different. We also have off limits already involved. So it could be that this person is already in a relationship, right? And that could be part of like why they're kind of back and forth in just like orbiting your energy. They're definitely showing this desire for closeness with you, group 3. Like they want to be able to open up to you more. But I think that there's definitely like something else going on behind the scenes where this person might not be fully available. And this is why Spirit is kind of highlighting this divine timing, right? Because if they're in another connection or they're tying up loose ends with something else, this is not really the best timing for this person to be opening up to you in an honorable way. And I think that's why you're kind of seeing them orbit you and keeping their eye on you, because you make them feel good, but they're ghosting, right? They're kind of in and out, back and forth. It's almost like they just come in to get like a dopamine hit and then they're out and then they come back when they need it again. So what are their intentions, group 3? They're intending to orbit you, to stay keeping an eye on you. They're not intending to be like a full, grounded, stable presence in your life. But I do see them intending to do something, whether it's like a performance or a text message. They're doing or acting in a certain way to conjure up your attention again because you guys make them feel really good in their heart space, okay? So this was interesting. Group 3, comment below if you're ending your reading here. I'm super curious to hear what's been happening with your person and how this message resonates. If you're going to join me on Patreon, the link to that extended reading will be in the description box down below. And over there, we're going to be looking into the future of the connection as the energy stands today. So look forward to seeing you guys there. Bye.